Hello, if you're involved in real estate here in Nigeria, I can also explain which of these documents are regarded as safe, very safe, or requiring further verification. So stay tuned. So we start with certificate of occupancy, which is commonly called C of O. So this is a document that is issued by the state government of a state. It is considered as the strongest document of a property and is usually valid for 99 years. So if you buy a land and you want to have CFO, it means that even if there's a government revocation of your property, there must be compensation for you. We also talk about the deed of assignment. This deed of assignment talks about the transfer of ownership from the seller to the buyer. So after buying a land and there is no deed of assignment, just know that some things are not yet done right. And also, deed of assignment must be registered. So whenever you go to buy a property here in Nigeria and you check for the deed of assignment and it's not registered, try to register. Try to tell or talk it over with the seller so that you have a mutual agreement on registering the deed of assignment. Deed of assignment also shows the history of ownership. So if a land has been bought by several buyers, deed of assignment shows whether Mr. A bought it and sold it to Mr. B, and Mr. B sold it to Mr. C before getting to you, the current buyer. Let's talk about the governor's consent. Governor's consent is a document that is issued by the state governor of a state, and this governor's consent document already has C of O embedded. So it is fully recognized by the law. So as a buyer here in Nigeria and you hear that a particular property has a governor's consent, just know that it already has C of O, that is certificate of occupancy, which makes you gain to an extent a balance while buying a property here in Nigeria. We are headed up to the deed of lease. Deed of lease is an agreement that shows the possession of a property for a specific period of time, maybe 99 years, maybe 50 years, but the ownership is still with the lessor. When we talk about the lessor is also called the seller. And this is commonly seen in government allocation and most estates. The power of attorney. This agreement gives authority to someone to act for the owner. So when the owner is not around to oversee his property or use his property to do what concerns him or her, this power of attorney is an agreement binding both the owner of the property and the temporal user of the property to use the owner's property. It is mainly used by real estate developers before issuing documents to individuals. So I'll also tell you that it is mainly backed up by deed of assignment. So whenever you are talking about these documents as regards to real estate, I want you to bear in mind what it means and how it works. Now I can proudly tell you that the C of O is regarded as the strongest documentation here in Nigeria. And you also have the governor's consent, we also have the deed of assignment, we have the power of attorney, that's the irrevocable power of attorney, and we also have the deed of lease. So if you're buying today, which of these documents will you ask about? Having been said, if a property does not have C of O, it doesn't mean that the property is not a legit property. A property might not have C of O, but have a deed of assignment and irrevocable power of attorney, which is registered. It also verifies the authenticity of that property. So you can't say because a property doesn't have C of O, that's for that reason you won't buy the property. No, if the other documentations are registered and well recognized by the government or let's say the state government, it is an authentic property to buy. Hit the subscribe button for more real estate educational tips here on our channel. I am Samuel H. Emmanuel of the iHeading Sources, and I'm always here to give you real estate education to enlighten you before purchasing that property of your dream. Here we'll make your dream become a reality through real estate.